All right, you're good to go.
Alrighty then. Hey everybody. So it's Jaimie Johnson and Lilly Mountain doing our Director Bound Week 3. We are so excited, along with all the rest of Carol's team, to have you guys here with us. We're getting some feedback. Let me look and see what my issue is. Hold on. Is anybody on a cell phone by chance?
Everybody's muted, Jaimie.
Right there. Okay. I'm not, you don't have feedback anymore, do you?
Not now.
Okay, that's what that might have been the problem. Not sure. All right then. Okay. So anyway, so we're super excited that you guys are here. And as a matter of fact, making it to week 3 is a pretty big accomplishment. So you guys need to give yourselves a pat on the back. And but first, let's go ahead and kind of set the stage for tonight. Last week, you guys know, we talked about facing your fear, right? And I wanted to ask, raise your hand, put it in the chat, who last week faced their fear and maybe did this thing? Ask your host to join your team. Anybody? Anybody raise their hand? It's hard because I can't see the whole gallery. Lilly, do you see anybody raising their hand? How about in the chat? Any chats in the chat? Okay. All right. So, well, maybe somebody did, and maybe they're just maybe a little scared to say it. But remember, we talked about doing it not once, not twice, not 3 times or 4 times, but 5 times. We'll wrap up today and talk about that one more time just to make sure that everybody kind of sees it, gets comfortable with it, because to be a director, what do you have to do? Got to recruit, right? So think about this. Sometimes you just got to meet your fear head on and just try it. What's the worst that can happen? Somebody might say maybe, might even say yeah. So think about if you did do it this week. Maybe you can put in the chat sometime as we're going through this hour what your outcome was. All right, very good. Okay, so I told you guys that we had a special guest speaker for you here tonight, and she's going to take just a minute. I want to introduce you to Tony Hansen. Tony Hansen is a director on our team, Team Sizzle. She is currently on track to promote to advanced director this month, and we are so excited for her and her team, because that means that somebody else is on track to promote to director. So we're really excited. You may not know this, but Tony works alongside her full-time job at BNSF. A couple of things that struck me as she and I have been talking are, one of the things is why she started last year, and it totally made me think about customer loyalty and how important that is. And then also, she talked about why she became a director in 2020. And I really thought that it would be a great idea for her to share it with you. It might resonate, and it might give you a few ideas, because I got to tell you, I'm amazed at the things that she's done so far. And like I said, I think she had a goal and a plan. So Tony, if you want to come off mute really quick, that would be great.
Hi guys, it's Tony here. Thanks Jaimie for the introduction. So yeah, I started Pampered Chef last May 22nd, so not quite a year yet. And I had actually worked with Jaimie and knew her, not worked with her as an employee, but worked with her in terms of hosting parties and doing things like that for Pampered Chef for a good 10 years. And not that she hadn't asked me in the past to actually become a consultant, the timing just wasn't right for me. I didn't need it. So last year, my husband lost his job. He's had surgery and he's still not able to work. So I picked up Pampered Chef after being a guest and a host for 20 years, loving the products, and felt like it would be an easy transition for me to pick up and get that extra money that we were losing out on with him losing his job. So in terms of customer loyalty that Jaimie was referring to, I actually have a cousin that is a Pampered Chef consultant, and I could have signed up under her, but I had been working with Jaimie for 10 years. I had already told her no multiple times. And it really does pay off. So it may not be the time right now. So if you're getting no's, doesn't mean that their situation won't change and it won't resonate with them to come back to you later. So it's worth asking. And then I became a director. Really, that was not my goal at the beginning of the year. I was very excited about the cruise for 2021. And Jaimie had posted some things in our Team Sizzle group early in January about making a goal. And then she also put in there about Break Free 2020 workshop on how to accomplish goals. And it really talked about getting a path and a plan to accomplish your goals. And so I sat down and I have a little book here that I wrote in of how am I going to get the points to get level 1 of the cruise and earn that. And it quickly, it made me quickly realize that I would have to start recruiting. And up until that point, I had not asked a single host, a single guest to become a consultant. Now, I had done a few posts in the parties, but never really pursued it, followed up with it, incentivized them to comment or do anything like that on. So after making my plan, I knew that I needed to get consultants. So my plan said that I needed to get 12 qualifying consultants in the year, that I needed to be paid as a team leader 3 times, and that I needed to promote to director. Well, January came and we had such an amazing recruiting month with the blender being on the kit, and I signed up 5. They all became active in February and we made the goals. And so we ended up go ahead and qualifying March 1st, way before my goal time. But how did I get there? So after I made that plan, I knew I needed to start asking. It was not comfortable for me, not at all. And so I actually went out to Coffee Talk and I searched for recordings and learnings on that. And then I did the DASH training. And so again, it's reiterating what we've said here in Director Bound, that we need to present the opportunity 5 times. And so I started incorporating that. And several of them have turned over to be the consultant prior to the party starting, others mid-party, and others, well, just right after. So it is certainly worth asking your host, but another way to do it is to incentivize your guest by posting, ask me questions about the business, give them extra tickets for the drawings, and then follow up with them. And that's a key thing. We heard that last week and I did it this week and I got a consultant this week because of that. So to the point of this whole thing is this methodology works if you just give it a try. And it feels a little uncomfortable at first. And when you get outside of your box, you really excel. So one of the things Jaimie also asked me, which is not on the slide, is what's been so rewarding since I've become a director? And so I'd say that the most rewarding thing to me is to be able to help people. So again, last year when I was facing the fact that my husband wouldn't be employed anymore, I needed the job. And there's a ton of other people that are starting to become consultants for that same reason. So if you don't ask them, you don't know. You need to ask them. But also just helping people and watching people grow in their journey as well has been really rewarding. So that's my story.
Awesome, Tony. Oh my gosh, you guys, give her a hand. I mean, seriously, you know, number one, you can see she went out of her comfort zone. She'd made a plan. And even though it wasn't comfortable the first time, it wasn't comfortable the second time, she kept doing it. And I mean, that's an amazing story. I have to tell you, when she told me the customer loyalty part of this, I cried. Because, you know, it does pay off. It pays off to help people again and again and again, to keep coming back to them and seeing what else you can offer them to help them with whatever it is that they need. So I'm just so blessed and happy to have Tony on our team. We've had a really good time this last year together, and I know that we'll just continue to do more and more together with our whole entire organization. So Tony, thank you so much for sharing your story tonight. All right, guys. So next, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to introduce to you Advanced Director Lilly Mountain. She's from Pennsylvania, and everybody may not know Lilly. I've had some chances over the years to work closely with Lilly, and I'm really excited to say that she was in the top 5 in sales in April in Carol Radu's organization. So that's no small feat. That's in her first, second, or third gen. So I'm really excited to introduce you to her tonight. And you know what? Talk about your believing in your ability to help hosts succeed. I mean, with sales like that, you have to believe it, right? Now, right before she gives a little talk about belief, I did ask you guys to do a quick survey for me. And everybody did that kind of that flash poll, you know, and it was interesting. So what came up to the top is, I'm a strong leader who leads with confidence. I think that's awesome. And that's right, because you guys are doing this. You know, we're training you tonight, but a lot of the things that we're going to cover are things that you're doing today in your business. So know that you're doing the right things. And what we're here to do is reiterate those, make sure that you are on the right path, and continue to help you grow as a leader, not just Lilly and I, but your whole entire director organization. I thought it was also interesting. They listened, Becky and Carolyn and Amanda, because number 2 is, I'm offering the business to every host 5 times. How exciting is that, right? So the training paid off too. Good for you guys for being on our training last week. Also, I'm booking 4 to 6 parties every week. That was one of the things that we said were the guidelines for the program. So happy that it's in the top 3. We got a little bit scared at I'm a strong recruiter, and that was one of the reasons why I really wanted Tony to talk to you guys tonight, because I think it's really important to hear from another peer that has just recently promoted to director and overcame that fear. Tony is talking to people, and as you could see, she's definitely talking to them 5 times and is making that purposeful. When you're purposeful with it, it works, right? Focus. And then I'm promoting to director this month. I'm so excited that we had 4 people actually tag that, right? That's pretty exciting. We have some people that are really, really close and on track, and we cannot wait to celebrate you guys. And I want to just leave you with this too. Maybe this time in director bound isn't your time to promote to director. But what I really hope, and I think we all hope for you, is that you will realize that the skills that you've gotten here and that you've honed will be great, and that your will is just as important. And you take those 2 things together, and it will be director bound for you in no time. All right, y'all, I'm going to turn this over to Lilly, and she's going to talk about belief. Now, Lilly, I'm just going to say, you'll probably have to tell me when to advance the slide. All right, girl, just say,
Oh,
next slide,
okay.
please.
No problem. So belief, it's such a powerful word, isn't it? So what is belief? Belief is an idea we hold to be true. It's what you tell yourself every single day. It's trust, faith, and confidence in something or someone. Belief has to do with belief in our products, belief in our company, and most importantly, belief in yourself. As leaders with our company, we often see consultants who have a strong belief in our products and our company, yet lack a strong belief in themselves, and that hinders them from becoming all that they can become with Pampered Chef. So let me ask you a question. Do you believe in the power of you? Do you believe that you can be, do, have, and achieve anything you want in life if you are willing to work hard enough to get it? So we're going to do a quick little activity to help us think a little bit more about belief. And I want you to answer the following questions on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being the highest and 1 being the lowest. And most importantly, I want you to be honest with yourself. Write the first number that comes to mind, as that is usually the most accurate. And don't worry, no one's going to see the scores but you. Okay, so the first question is up on the screen. Do you believe you can build your skills and succeed in reaching your booking and recruiting goals? So write your score down, 1 to 10. Number 2, do you believe you can promote to director in 30 to 90 days? And number 3, do you believe you can be a strong leader for your team? So looking at the scores that you just wrote, are you happy with what you see, or do you feel that you have room to grow in your belief level? I'd like you to drop an emoji or a comment in the chat. Let us know if you're happy or if you see an opportunity for growth. Belief is such a powerful concept, and when you truly understand how powerful it is, it can change your life. When you believe in yourself, you have the power to change others' lives, your family's lives, your hosts' lives, your customers' lives, and your team's lives. Jaimie, next slide.
Yep.
Belief is the #1 thing that will hold us back from achieving what we want, not only in our business, but with our family and in life. If you don't have the confidence in yourself and in what you're doing, then you need to stop right here and start working to strengthen your beliefs. We can sometimes be our own worst enemies, and it's time to work on getting out of our own way. So how do your beliefs work in our brain? Simply put, what you tell yourself every single day, you will believe. So what are you telling yourself? Do you ever say, I can't, I'm not smart enough, I don't deserve this? When you say things like that to yourself, either out loud or even just in your head, your brain is going to believe it. And what do you think will happen from there? Nothing good, right? Next slide. The first step to promoting to a director is believing that you can do it. Your mind is more powerful than you can ever imagine. So if you just told yourself during our little activity that there is no way you can promote to a director in 4 to 6 weeks, if that is your belief, then guess what? You're absolutely right. Ouch, that stings, right? Next slide. Henry Ford once said, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. So be very careful about what you think. The good news is that you can change the way you think. So let's do this thing. Next slide. This is called the belief triangle. And it's a very revealing way of looking at the power of belief. Remember, our beliefs are determined by what we tell ourselves every day. And the belief triangle tells us that our beliefs determine our actions determine our results, and our results reinforce our beliefs. So here's an example of how that might look like when it comes to your business. So your belief is, people are so busy these days, they don't have time to add another commitment to their life like a Pampered Chef business. So your actions are going to be that you don't ask your host 5 times about the business opportunity, you don't ask every party guest about the business opportunity, and you don't post about the business opportunity in your virtual parties. So guess what your results are going to be? You're not going to recruit on a consistent basis. So does everybody see how that works, how that all comes back to the belief? So now let's change what we tell ourselves every day and create a new belief. So your new belief is Pampered Chef is an amazing opportunity for anyone. Lots of people need more income and they will make time for what's important to them. So your new action is going to be, I ask every host 5 times about the business opportunity. I ask every party guest about the business opportunity, and I post several times about the business opportunity in my virtual parties. Your new result will be that you recruit consistently and achieve multiple 4+1 cycles every month. So now let's relate this to host coaching. Has anyone here ever thought to themselves, I don't want to be pushy with my host. I don't want to tell them how many people to invite to their party. It's their party after all. So let's change the paradigm or that belief structure a little bit. If you are going to have a surgical procedure done, you typically have a pre-op appointment with the doctor, right? And the doctor gives very specific instructions on what you have to do before the procedure. So the surgeon is doing his job by teaching you, the patient, what to do ahead of the actual procedure to make sure everything goes smoothly, right? So if the surgeon had the belief structure of, well, I'll just see you at 6 o'clock in the morning and make sure you don't need anything before we head on into the operating room. Yeah, I'll just see you then. It'll be great, right? Yikes. How would that make you feel? Not so great, right? Would you have confidence that the surgeon knows what he's doing? Would you maybe leave and find another surgeon? Okay, so we are the surgeons of our parties. If we don't really teach our hosts what to do and how to do it and give them the words to say, they won't know what they're supposed to do. Our hosts truly do not know how to have a successful party, even if they've hosted before. This isn't a priority for them, and they aren't going to remember from the last time they hosted. And it may be a bit uncomfortable for you at first, especially if you've never really coached your hosts before. But when they walk away from their show with $215 in free products and 5 half-price items, having had a great time with their friends and having learned a new recipe and a few time-saving or money-saving tips, you both are going to be thrilled that you took the time to properly host coach them. So remember, you must believe that you can succeed. Next slide. If you find yourself having a difficult time changing your belief system in order to get the results you want, you'll want to pay close attention to the vocabulary you're using while talking to others and to yourself. Are you using disempowering language, or are you using empowering language? So an example, disempowering, you say, I should, where you should say, I choose to. Instead of saying, I need to, say, I expect to. Instead of I have to, I am. Instead of I wish, I will. Instead of I don't want to, how can I enjoy this time? Instead of being overwhelmed, think of it as unlimited opportunities and I choose to prioritize. Instead of saying I'm upset, ask what can you learn from this? Instead of saying I can't, how can I? Instead of saying I'm not very good at this, say I'm learning more each day. And I love this last one. Instead of making a to-do list for yourself, make yourself an accomplishment list, right? That's so powerful. I'm going to post this in our group tomorrow so that you can go ahead and print it out and put it up where you'll see it and reference it often so that you lose the habit of your negative self-talk and build the habit of using empowering language. Next slide. If you're struggling with belief, focus on believing that Director Bound will help you succeed. And know that when you take action every day, you'll find the success you're looking for. You are chosen to be a part of this group because your director believes in you. We believe in you. And we want you to believe in you too. Next slide. One way you can change your belief is with positive affirmations. You've already learned that a positive affirmation is a statement that is worded as though you're already doing what you want to achieve. They describe specific outcomes, specific positive outcomes, and last week we asked you to create a positive affirmation about the success you will have in promoting to director. Would anyone want to unmute themselves real quickly and share their positive affirmation from last week?
I will.
Thank you.
Mine is, I am an advanced director that keeps growing my team.
Awesome. That's great. Thank you, Kathy. Angie?
I will. Mine is, it is June 1st. I am the director of a strong and growing team that I am happy and excited to lead.
You go, girl. Awesome job. Great. Anybody else want to share? Nope. Okay. And if you want to put it in the chat, that would be great too. So today we're going to ask you to grow your list of affirmations to 5. When writing your affirmations, remember to use I am statements. And when you do this, you're training your brain to hear that you're already accomplishing what you want to accomplish. So read your affirmations out loud at least twice a day, first thing in the morning to help you focus for the day and remind you of what you want to achieve. And again, right before you go to bed to help your mind think about them while you're sleeping. It's important that you read them out loud and not silently in your head. There's so much power in hearing your own voice say you're doing something you want to do. You can also create visuals for your affirmations and put them up where you'll see them every day, on your bathroom mirror, on your screensaver, on your computer, or on your phone. Put them on your fridge, anywhere you are going to see them and read them out loud every single day. So we're going to give you a few examples of positive affirmations. The first one is, I am a director. Second one, I am booking 4 to 6 parties every week. I am offering the business to every host 5 times. I am a strong recruiter. I am an outstanding leader who leads with confidence. Does anyone have another affirmation that you would like to add to this list? Anyone else have an I am affirmation that you would like to share? Everybody's being shy tonight. That's okay. Go ahead and put it in your in the chat and we'll get to them.
I will, Lily.
Oh,
Lily.
awesome. Yes, ma'am.
I will.
Okay, thank you, Louise.
I will. I'm going to say that I am becoming a recruiter because I just recruited my first person this week. She was supposed to be a host for me, but now she's my consultant and I gave her her party. So
great job.
We're working on getting her first party set up, and so, and she comes from a different background. She just lost everything because her house burned down.
Aww.
So she needs Pamper Chef.
That's right. That's right. I'm so proud of you, Louise. That's awesome. Whoop, whoop. Anyone else have one that you want to add?
I'll do one.
Okay.
I am breathing enthusiasm into my team.
Love it, Carla. Great job. That's awesome. Great, great, great. Anyone else? Okay, next slide. Did you know that 90% of your daily communication is self-talk, is the self-talk you do with yourself? What are you telling yourself? Never forget that your brain isn't as smart as you think it is. It will believe anything you tell it if you tell it often enough. So make sure that you're telling it positive I am statements and believe in your words. All right. So, excuse me. And with that, I would like to introduce to you Advanced Director Jaimie Johnson. Jaimie and her team's focus this year has been on explosive growth. And since the beginning of the year, Jaimie and her team have added 27 new team members, 14 of them just in the last month. So amazing, girlfriend. They have had multiple promotions, including one director promotion this month, and are on track to promote another one on June 1st. So I hope that you all have your pens and your notebooks ready, because you are going to want to take lots of great notes. So Jaimie, take it away.
Well, thank you very much, Lily. So, I always think about you're partnering with your host. Really, when you host coach, it's for the win, right? You heard a lot about host coaching last week, and we're going to continue to touch on it. Why do you think that is? Because it is so super important. As a matter of fact, I think about my hosts as my business partners. They help me get my business in front of people they know. And subsequently, they help you get your business in front of people that they know. They encourage others to book parties for us, and they become your next team members. Now, that doesn't just happen by itself, as you guys well know, right? But coaching ensures that they are confident and they know what to do. Lily talked about that a little bit earlier, right? If you don't give them the recipe for success, they won't be successful. And if they're not successful, you're not successful. So, you know, you might think every once in a while, it's like, oh my gosh, I got 10 parties starting at once, and I'm just going to do really super fast coaching and it'll be okay. Do it all. It doesn't have to take long, but make sure you do not miss a step, because it is the most important thing. Host coach before the party starts. You pick up your paycheck happening during the party. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, absolutely. If you haven't host coached well, you don't have attendance and all the things. So let's talk about that. So we're going to talk tonight about raising the bar on host coaching. Like, what's that next level thing, right? So, you know, I talked a little bit about the recipe for success, and that you don't want to assume that your host knows what to do. I totally believe, and I think that my sisters would say the same thing, that you want to get their wish list from them like ASAP. Why do you think most hosts book parties with us? You guys know, right? They want free and discounted products. Now, of course, there are others that want to get their girlfriends together and they're like, oh, that's a good reason why, you know, people are cooking. Okay, that makes sense, or, you know, that type of thing. But honestly, at the end of the day, even when they don't think they want anything, once you start talking to them about their wish list, you find out they actually do. And if they don't have something on their wish list, we're called consultants for a reason. Let's consult with them and get them a full wish list. You'll see why in a minute. So ask for what you want so that they get what they want. I know that sounds a little crazy, right? Ask for what you want so that they get what they want. And that's all about host coaching. So, you know, there's some tactical things, right? As you're doing your virtual parties now, I bet you a lot of you are probably doing this. You're getting group messages for your hosts, especially if you're running multiple parties. Now, why are we doing that? We're doing that because they can inspire one another, right? I originally started doing group messaging because I thought it was just a vehicle for me to give them information. And while it absolutely is, and it's the easiest way to do it, it also, if you get a really good group of hosts, they start inspiring each other. Their enthusiasm carries everything. Sometimes they get into a friendly competition. It's also, of course, the place where you're going to do your daily images and texts that you want them to post. And then it's a place where you can remind them to start tagging their friends on different posts, right? There are other things, but those are probably the main reasons why you use group messaging for a host, right? And when I'm helping new consultants get started and we're doing their first parties, I put them in there because usually they're hosting one of their own as well, and they need to do exactly the same thing. And then of course they can always go back to that group message later and look and see exactly day by day, what were we doing? What were the tasks? Because they may not remember the first party that they did. I mean, God knows I wouldn't remember unless I had something to refer back to, and that group message is a great place for them to go. So host tools are also very important, and it's a piece of the tactical part of it, but I really make a big deal of the host tools, right? And it's something we haven't always had. And I love the fact that they can go on their dashboard and they can see what's going on. They can put their wish list in there and they can see pretty much how big their show has to be in order to get the things on their wish list. So I love that. And it also helps in the order tracking as well. I'm going to say this to you. You know what? I always think that you should shoot for the moon because frankly, even if you miss it, you're going to land amongst the stars, right? I mean, that's so true. If you don't host coach to the absolute highest level, you've already set their expectation way down here, right? So I'm going to talk next about something that I also find so super important, and that is customer loyalty. We talked a little bit about that earlier with Tony. She and I, we've known each other for a very long time, and we've partied together a lot with her friends and family, and we've had a really good time along the way. She's referred me to other people, and I'm just so thankful again that she came to our team when she was finally ready to do that. Host posts are priceless. I have here an example of one of my hosts. So she actually was a guest at a previous party, right? And in her particular, and then she did her party. She got the cast iron skillet set and she was so excited about it. So much so that she actually posted a picture that this is her making this. This is not home office imagery. She made this pork skillet, chili lime pork skillet, and she loved it. She posted it on her Facebook wall with her link. And I said to her, which was great because she started getting orders right away. But then I actually helped her share it into the party as well. And I always ask my hosts, I mean, she went above and beyond. I don't ask them to cook something, guys, but I certainly ask them to post a picture of their favorite Pampered Chef product that they've had. If they don't have a favorite product, I always ask them, what's on your wish list? And then I give them a picture from marketing imagery and I ask them to post that with why they want it and ask their friends what their fave is. Why do you think I do that? It gets interaction in the party. They see her post. We know Facebook algorithms. I'm not even going to go there, right? But I just love the fact that this particular host actually used the product, and you'll see another example of that. And it, like I said, if they're excited about their products, their friends will become excited about their products. Your sales go up, and they're happy hosts. So, this is something that I use all the time. It's a guide to $1,000 party. This is not mine. I have no idea who made it, so my disclaimer. I do think that I could add some more things to it, but I'll tell you about how I talk around this. But when I'm gonna, right before I get on my host coaching call with my customer, with my host, I go and I shoot them this guide to $1,000 party real quick, and I say to them, do you have that in front of you? Oh, yeah, you know, either message it or text it, whichever they want. And I go right through it. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited that you decided to party with me. We're gonna have so much fun, right? And I know that from talking to you before that you have a really big wish list. Well, let's get you as much stuff on that wish list as possible. Let's shoot for $1,000 party, because when we do that, you're gonna get, and I tell her what the things are. You guys know what it is, so I'm not gonna go over it with you, but I go over it, I mean, obviously with enthusiasm. I also make sure that she's collecting at least 5 non-Facebook orders. Why? Because she knows plenty of people in her phone that she can just go ahead and text the information to that aren't on Facebook. You know, they just maybe aren't for whatever reason, but they need Pampered Chef too. So why not? So I always make sure that they're sending the link out to people that aren't going to be doing Facebook orders. I always tell them, hey, don't be a party pooper. You know, it's your party. We're going to have fun. I'm not going to ask you to do a lot, but the things that are the most important are you tagging your friends, doing the host post that I ask you to every day, posting on your Facebook wall a few times during the party, and staying active with your friends. This is how we have fun. Is that okay? And they always say, yeah. I talk about 20 to 25 orders as our goal. What's it going to take? You got to have 100 people in your invites. You know, we want 30 to 35 to join, and look at the difference. And what I'm like, look, 60 times 20 orders, right? Our average party order is about $60. That's $1,200. Guess what? You get more free products. Is that okay? What do you guys think they say? Of course, I'm so excited. And I always remind them, don't just invite the ladies, guys cook. As a matter of fact, Stacy's husband cooks. So this is an example of a party I just closed out at Stacy's party. It was at 1758. She had a huge wish list and got a ton of things, used her host dashboard. She only got 15 orders, but let me tell you, because she was telling them about the pricey stuff that she wanted, they were actually ordering it, and those that couldn't, they booked the shows. So we got 4 shows booked, 2 recruit leads, and she rebooked herself for fall, because I told her that we'll have more products coming out, and she was so excited. Remember, Stacy doesn't cook. Here's my happy host alert. So these texts, they kind of go in a row, right? So, you know, she texts me on Saturday and says, oh my gosh, Jaimie, can I get 2 of those entertainment stoneware sets at half off? I gotta tell you, they sound pricey at $199, but when you look at all the cool stuff that you get in there, everybody loves them, and it's one of my best sellers. So I'm like, of course, sure. She said, also, she's getting more orders. She's got a huge order coming in. I'm like, wahoo, I'm all the green. I told her somebody else just placed their order, and she's already at $265 and free. She's all excited. She's like, oh my gosh, crazy, right? So that was her wish. That was the power of her wish list, in my opinion. In the center, the host posts and the sales really equated to sales and bookings. This is still Stacy's party. She's like, that was so much fun. Or I said, that was so much fun. She says, oh my gosh, I think it went so well. Thank you so much, right? You know, I'm like, absolutely, I had a good time. She's like, they were amazed that I cook, because remember, she doesn't cook. She got so excited about the recipe, and I'd sent it to her ahead of time, that she tried to make it herself. Her husband said she did a great job. I mean, how, you can't buy that, right? I mean, seriously, so impressive. She's like, I think I'm gonna get close to 1,000. And then the last thing is about booking. So we'd already gotten 3 bookings. I asked her one more time, is there anybody else? She's like, oh my gosh. She's like, let me have a think on that. That's a little tough. She thought of somebody. I sent her the message. Guess what? She booked 2. Teresa booked 2. And then she's like, oh my gosh, I got so much stuff. I was having a hard time figuring out what to get. Host coaching, wish lists, guest lists, using the $1,000 formula. Those are all things that work, right? And I think you guys, a lot of you on here have had very successful parties. So, you know, you're probably doing some of the same stuff. Make sure that you get it as a repeatable process again and again and again. My fellow leaders will tell you that this is something that I've had to work on myself, right? And it's finally coming together, and I'm just so excited about it. The host booking challenge is super important too. All right, so I asked Stacy at the beginning, give me 10 people that you think would make awesome hosts, right? So she did, she gave me the list. I messaged them. You have one of 2 options, right? You can have the consultant, the consultant can message the guests, or maybe the host does a 3-way message with the guests and you. It's really up to you. I find that it works better for me to ask her for the people. I send a message out to them. If I don't get them, then I'll have her do it. If nothing else, as they're ordering, I'm texting. I find that I get better results, just me personally, from texting them and asking them that question. So, but however you want to do it, that's fine. Tactically, here's what we got to do. Welcome. You want to make sure that you get an engagement going right away in Messenger. Because why? Because you need that 2-way conversation, so you can be talking to people along the way, right? So I always do, wave at me in Messenger, or you could do ask me for the virtual party link, virtual catalog link. Either way, they have to reach out to you. I like the wave because it's not, and then, I'll ask them, do you want the virtual party link or whatever? But when they wave at me and I wave back at them, we've got that 2-way conversation going right away. So I just do that. That seems to work for me. But again, you might be doing a virtual catalog post. Games. All right, y'all know people love games, right? But did you know that you can actually add a message me link to your post? So if you go into your Facebook profile, I have an iPhone. I have to tell you, I have not figured out how to do this on a Droid yet, guys, so my apologies, but maybe somebody smarter than me will know. I will post this, but I find that this works really, really well because it literally, I'll ask them something like, is an avocado a vegetable or a fruit? Message me so everybody can play. And I actually put that .m.me on there. And when they click on it, it automatically opens up a message window with me on my profile. It's kind of cool, right? So anyway, so I'll put the directions on how to do that out there, because that has been a game changer for me, getting them to message me right away. Some people like to play deal, no deal, pick a case, you agree to book for prizes revealed. You can also, I don't play that game, but I've heard of people that are very successful with it, so I brought it out. But I always ask the host to reach out, tag the people. It's all about fun and an amazing experience, and that's why she hosted. And when she does a post like that for me, more people are more likely to say yes when I'm sending them messages, asking them if they want, telling them that they're a rock star and asking them if they want to host their own party. I always do a Google form, and I always do a giveaway for filling out the Google form. I find that works out better. And be sure that you include this question. And that question is, if your host signed up, would you support him or her by hosting a fun virtual party for them? That has been huge for me, actually getting my hosts to convert and actually join in our team. And then a friend request I think is very important, but I don't just friend request everybody on the party. I only friend request those that I've actually been having a conversation with. Like, those are the people that if they're having babies, I want to see their message. Those are the people that are doing posting a bunch of food pictures I want to see, so that I can message them about either joining our team or having a party of their own. All right, you guys, we heard it. You've heard it more times than not. Ask every host 5 times. And on the left-hand side is the graphic that the girls posted last week, and it absolutely works. All we did was added a few other things to it. And so first, I always ask the host, you know, I always tell her, hey, I know this wasn't on your radar, but I can easily flip this over to your launch party. Are you in the market for some extra income by any chance? You know, I mean, that just opens the door for some conversation. She may say, yeah, as a matter of fact, I do need some extra income. Or she may say, oh, no, we are in good shape. Doesn't matter. That's my first ask. I also include it, and I know Lilly includes this in her host email. Don't forget that in our tools, you actually can send out the host email. It's really easy. You can set up a template, and you know, I always say there's still time before we get the party started. This could be your launch party, and you could earn the commission as well as the free products. What do you think? Right? I have had some come back to me and say, oh my gosh, really? We could do that? Of course you can. As soon as the guests start RSVPing, right? You know, I always say I'd love to gift you with the bookings that we're getting if you get your, if you want to start your biz. What do you think? Hey, you know, I mean, these are just short little things that you're just continuing to keep this in front of her again and again, right? As soon as the party reaches 300, you know, wahoo, you just hit 300. You've qualified for our kit credit. You could use it on any one of the kits. If you were thinking about starting, which one of the kits would you pick? You know, what do you think? Of course, as soon as we start receiving those responses and she starts seeing that on the Google survey that her friends would host a party if she started her business, hello, I mean, what do you think, right? And then while closing the party, you know, I know we've talked through this and I've asked you, you know, if you wanted to join our team, but you really have been an amazing host. You did most of the work, believe it or not. You had fun. I know you want more products, you know, and you're really good at this. It's why I think you should join our team. Do you want to give it a shot? So I'm going to ask you guys, who are you most excited about from your parties for these last couple of weeks and working with? Do not miss this opportunity to ask them at least 5 times. Y'all can do this. Y'all can recruit. Some of you on this director bone, you only need a couple people to add to your team in order to promote. Some of you might need a few more, but I'm here to tell you today was only the 13th, right? I'm looking at my phone. 14th. Okay, today was only the 14th. Yeah, I can't keep it straight. Today was only the 14th. You still have plenty of time to add people to your team and start them with their parties right away. We all know you can fire up a party like that. So what are you waiting for? Y'all can do it. All right, so here is your homework. Fill your consistency bucket with Christina Weisinger. I listened to this on Coffee Talk, and if you have not listened to Christina, first of all, she's got the greatest accent, and she is fun. So this is like 25 minutes of fun listening to her. You definitely want to hear this. She talks about believing in yourself and your ability to book and add team members. She talks about what to do to get to director, keep on doing it, and keep on moving forward. And she talks about consistency in a way that you may not have heard of before when she talks about filling that bucket and keeping that bucket full. I'm telling you, if you're not laughing or crying by the time you're done listening to this, I don't know. Always adding parties, always adding team members. fill your consistency bucket and do the exercise at the end. And I want you guys to post it on the Facebook group under the post that I put out there. I will put this link. You don't have to call into this. You actually can click the link and listen to it on your computer. So if you have a hard time listening to the coffee talks because it's a long distance number on your phone, you don't have to worry about that with this. You just click on the link. And most importantly, continue to make your 30 contacts. We don't just tell you that because we want you to do some work. We tell you that because it works, right? I was not sitting at as many parties as I wanted at the beginning of the month. I'm still looking for even more. I've gotten more parties. I'm still looking for even more parties. So I'm continuing to make my 30 contacts, right? I changed from being a cooking show consultant to a virtual consultant. It was a little different, but hey, you know what? I found that my cooking show hosts, they're cool at doing virtual parties now too. So once I got over my fear and got my belief that I could do virtual parties and my customers would want to do virtual parties with me, it was a game changer. Make sure that you're doing the same thing, y'all. All right, so we have just a minute or two left for questions. So I'll open it up if anybody has a question, a comment, anything you need. Of course, we have our 4th and final director bound next week. You will not want to miss it. What do y'all think? Anybody have a question? You can come off mute.
Jaimie, Angie wanted to know if you offer the Google form at the beginning, the middle, or the end of your party.
Oh, that's a good question. I actually do it towards the end. I do it the day before the end. So like day 4 of the virtual party. And I don't wait till the very end because they might miss it. And I also want an opportunity to get that party closed and get a brand new link out if the host decides to convert immediately after she's seen the results of the Google form. So that's when I do it. I don't know if anybody else has an opinion, but I do it on day 4. I do 5-day parties currently.
Okay, and Kimberly wanted to know when you were talking about the .me link, she wanted to know if they can message you if they haven't followed you yet. Will they be?
Yeah. Well, so what happens is that, yeah, so that link, all it does is it just opens it up, and like, I'm Jaimie Johnson, and that doesn't, I mean, it is a common name, and even in the way my name's spelled, other people come up when you just type in Jaimie space Johnson. So I like to click on it because it literally opens up Messenger, and they have a 2 and it has me in there. So it's actually your Facebook profile on Messenger. That's what ME is, the messenger. So, and like I said, I'll post the steps on there. And if I can figure out how to do it on a Droid, I don't have anybody close to me where I can play with it on an Android to see if I can figure it out, but maybe one of the other directors has. And if not, I'll keep searching and see if I can find it out there on google.com.
Can you do it on a laptop or computer?
I think well, you can on a Mac, but I don't know about on a laptop. So like I said, I'll give you the steps, you try it. If it doesn't work, go ahead and start commenting in there and we'll see if we can troubleshoot it for you, because it really is pretty slick. Hopefully they'll keep that and they won't get rid of that functionality. Okay, any other questions?
I have
All right,
a question.
if not, I think we're about, oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry, Jaimie, I have a question.
Yes.
So last week in reference to the welcome message, I have a question about that. Doing the welcome message toward the end of the party to welcome everybody and using that as a contact to get people to host and you know, contacting them directly from that. My only question with that is what do you do when people are like, you know, everybody starts responding to that, and then you've got like, say, like I have a party now with 70 some people in it for one host. What do you do with that when everybody starts responding to that and then you have a whole bunch of people? Can you break that down?
Oh, so you mean when it's tagging them, the right post? Yeah,
And then
well, you
everybody
know,
starts responding.
I've learned some things from my sister directors. I used to think that I should use that right up front. And what I found is that I actually want to hold on to that till about the 4th day, or even the last day. But just remember that it rolls over weekly. So you have to be kind of a little bit strategic about that. But what we actually do is make sure that they see the order link in there. So I don't just say welcome in that post anymore. Now I actually put some action things in that post for them to do. And one of them is usually I'm using that post to say something like, oh my gosh, you guys, I hope you've had as much fun as we have, your host and I. She is so close to her next goal. She's only like $65 away. And so like if I'm doing this on the last day, you know, I'll be like, she's only like $65 away. You know, let's help her make sure that she gets everything. Or maybe she's like one booking away from getting a free gift from me. I'll put that in there. So I use that post when I really want to get their attention, and not necessarily at the beginning anymore. I don't know if you can break it down. I've never tried to like remove people from that. I have the feeling it's a one-time action, Teresa, but we can do a little testing with that in a group for sure.
Jaimie, I can kind of address that since I
Oh,
was
thank you.
talking about it last week. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I saved that toward the very end, and I'll show you you guys the kind of picture that I use it on, which is this one right here. It's a party poll post.
Yes.
Right.
And so again, it's a strategic thing because I'm trying to figure out, you know, where everybody's at as far as what they're going to do ordering wise. So you'll find that a lot of people are going to do A or C, but then you're going to have occasionally, of course, the people that are going to, you know, choose B, that they want to book a party. And then you're going to have your people that choose E also. So the nice thing about the E is that I comment right there, especially if I haven't had a chance to have a conversation with them. I can reply to their E and ask for the booking right then and there. And it's going to be about your wording choices at that point. And pretty much what I say is, so, hey, Carla, I'm so sorry that you're not able to order. I'm sure that you would love to help your friend Susie. What do you think about hosting a show for her? Because it's going to benefit you and it'll also benefit her. We could book your party in June or July. What do you think? Very simple, short, sweet, to the point. The other reason I do this is because, so I do mine 4 days in. On the 5th day, for anybody that has said A and hasn't placed the order yet, I can go back and respond again to them and shoot the link out to them again. And it's going to re-tag them every time I click reply. Okay. So not only am I, you know, I have the opportunity to reply as many times as I want to. So it's just a way to continue a conversation with people.
Awesome.
Does that answer your
Becky.
question?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, yes, but my thing is that then it's tagging everybody else every time you reply. So like you're tagging other people that are not involved in that conversation.
No, it's not.
Are you tagging everybody or just that one person?
No, it only,
Okay, that's what I need to know.
when you
Okay.
click reply, it only tags that one person that had commented. It won't re-tag everybody from the top. Now, if I go down and make a comment at the bottom of the post, okay, not replying to someone, but actually comment on the bottom of it, then yes, it'll send a notification out to everybody that was tagged in the original post.
Gotcha. Okay, thank you. That's what I wasn't sure about. Okay.
Yeah. And sometimes, like I said, I'll do that and I'll do the comments and I'll say, oh my gosh, your host is only $65 away, or she's only one more booking away. You know, you might have guessed A or whatever before, but help your friend out. She's been a great host and, you know, we've had a lot of fun. Thank you so much. Let's keep the party going, or, you know, whatever it might be. Becky's right. The word choices are really important.
For sure.
And doing it later in the party is the right time to do it. We've definitely proven that doing it up front is not the time. Great. All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Good questions, guys. Great. I hope that you are able to take something away tonight and that you are inspired to do something, which is believing in yourself, getting some positive affirmations going. If you didn't already have some, you know, borrow them, use them, make them your own. And then of course, continue to expand on your host coaching where you need to ensure that you're getting bookings. And then just ask that host 5 times, guys. Almost about 80% of our consultants were a host at one time. If that doesn't tell you what you need to know about and why you should ask the host 5 times, I don't know what is. All right, we'll leave you with that. We'll post the homework and everything on the Facebook page in just a couple minutes, guys. We appreciate your time. Have a good rest of your evening, and thank you so much for participating.
Thank you. Great.